We are now live. Welcome back to the show. Show, of course, being the show where we talk about the show, Major League Baseball. And I am a Mariners fan, as you can see per Seattle behind me. I don't know if you recognize that off the jump, but you can see up there is a Twins logo behind Ben. That would be Target Field in Minneapolis. Ben is, yes, in fact, a Twins fan. Let's talk about that, Ben.
Let's really not.
What was the last show? Was a week ago?
Yeah, where I said we wouldn't win 4 in a row all season, and then they
to win the next 4.
It's like,
haven't you won 4 games twice since then?
No, because we've won 7 of our last 8.
But wow.
Okay. Look, I want to talk about this 7 out of our last 8 thing.
No, it's good. Go.
And I think it's really fun, and I think there's some of this that could be sustainable, but most of it isn't. Okay. I want to point out that this team last year was one of the worst teams against left-handed pitching. And in the last week, they have put up 22 runs against Framber Valdez, who's a right-hander, I understand, but Garrett Crochet and Tarek Skubal.
Yeah. Framber's not a happy man. He's not a happy man.
No, I can't imagine he is. Tarek Skubal looked miserable last week. And I have no doubt about it that the next time he pitches against us, he's probably going to kill us. Because that's one of those guys who holds a grudge. And Garrett Crochet looked like he wanted to die after giving up the 7th run last night. He gave up 4 more after that. Now, my question to the Red Sox, to Alex Cora, is, your guy's given up 7 runs in less than 2 innings. Why are you leaving him out there to give up 4 more?
I think I have an answer for that.
Is it because their bullpen sucks? Because it does.
It sucks, but it's also been overly used. There's a couple teams in that situation right now, and Houston's another one. Actually, 3 of the top 5 worst teams in baseball, their bullpen is just destroyed right now. And that's the Astros. The Astros' entire roster is destroyed right now. They've got 3 starting pitchers out.
They look terrible, by the way.
Well, this is the funny thing, Ben. They're like top 3 in offense.
Yeah.
In Major League Baseball, but that's just how bad their pitching has been.
Unless you look at Carlos Correa, which don't do that. Correa looks terrible. But now they gave up nothing for him, so I'm sure they probably don't care, and they're not even paying the rest of his contract. Twins are paying a part of it, so they probably don't care. But back to the Twins, I mean, like, freaking Ryan Kreidler hit a home run last night. That's not sustainable.
Well,
Brooks Lee hit a home run in consecutive games, one of which they lost because they swept the Tigers, who look just pitiful right now. And I feel terrible for him. I don't feel bad for Tarek Skubal because that guy's probably going to go to the Dodgers and make $500 million. But like, the Tigers look really bad. Like, I think we can say that now, that this Tigers team does not look good. You get swept by the Twins, who in a lot of places have them finishing last. Like, 4 games swept.
The Tigers are your... Who's the biggest nemesis of the Twins?
Probably the White Sox, and historically it's been the White Sox. Lately it's been the Guardians. I mean, just because I think they're far more relevant than the White Sox, and I don't think that's a crazy thing to say at all. And I know they looked terrible on national television 2 nights ago, and they looked friggin' horrible. And I only saw part of that game because I had to cover a wrestling show, but like, Atlanta crushed them.
It's funny to me. Let's look at the graveyard from last week, just real quick.
Because I think this is the most turnover we've ever had in the graveyard. A lot of teams
were in the graveyard. Now they're the first team in the American League with 10 wins.
Yep.
How'd that happen?
The American League is a clusterfuck.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's bad necessarily. It's just
It's all cobbled together.
it's still in the sorting out phase. Toronto looks bad, dude. Like, what's
I
the
mean, they've
deal? I
got
thought
8 guys on the injured list.
they made the World Series last year, and then they made the most upgrades.
But here's the thing. Scherzer has elbow tendonitis and tried to pitch with it on Sunday, and it blew up in their face. And Barrios is out. Savage is out. Like, they've got a bunch of guys out right now. That guy that I made fun of a couple weeks ago, Cody Ponce, the guy who was in the KBO that was partly responsible for them getting destroyed by the Rockies, he's on the injured list for God knows how long now. So, like,
all right, let's step back and take a closer look at the AL East right now. Boston, I still think they're one of the worst. I still think they're one of the worst teams in the league.
What happened to the Yankees?
Well, look at what's going on with Baltimore.
Yeah, but the Yankees shit down their leg way earlier than I expected them to. I knew they'd shit down their leg. I just didn't think it'd be in April.
Well, they shit down their leg several times a year. Let's be realistic. And usually it's right around playoff time. So just because they're shitting down their leg right now doesn't mean that they won't continue to shit down their leg.
I mean, it was a couple of years ago, or maybe it was 3-4 years ago now, but do you remember that whole season where they basically shit down their leg for like 140 games?
Yeah, I remember a lot of seasons where I was specifically just saying anybody but the Yankees, please. And usually I was good to go. They were eliminated from the playoffs often and early, or didn't make it at all.
I do have one more note on the Twins. I have a comparison for you, and I think this is a good comparison. Do you remember the Pirates 2 or 3 years ago where they got like red hot in April and looked really good for like 2 months and then just fell apart?
I might.
They were like the best team in the league in April. And everybody thought, oh my gosh, are the Pirates actually going to figure this? And this was before they called up Paul Skeens. And it just looked like they were going to roll. And then they just completely collapsed. And it turned out that what had happened was the rest of the NL Central was just really bad for a month.
Yeah, I do remember that, actually. So you're applying that to the Twins?
Yeah, I think it's the same thing.
All right. So what do you have to see before you believe? How far do we have to go?
Us being less than 18 games back at the All-Star break?
That doesn't seem very hard.
It's also an exaggeration. If we're within 3 games at the All-Star break, I'll probably be happy. I don't think that's going to happen, though. I mean, look at that bullpen. That bullpen is talentless. And you can say, well, it hasn't mattered the last week because you're scoring 1 million runs. That's not sustainable. Your Twins haven't played a close game in a week. Yeah. I mean, they played 1 against Detroit, and it was only because they took an 8-0 lead against Framber Valdez and then tried to blow it in the 9th.
No, they really did. They really tried everything to blow it.
They tried everything in their power to lose that game. But so did the Tigers, to be fair. Let's not act like the Tigers were trying to win that game either.
All right. So you got staying here with the AL East, because I want to talk about the Central as well. But the Yankees and Baltimore are tied for first place right now. And as suspected, Tampa is hovering around third. Toronto, you're saying injuries?
Yeah.
I'm saying next man up. You got to fight through that shit. If you had a team that made the World Series last year, you should be able to survive a few injuries early on.
Everybody not the Dodgers is kind of working some stuff out right now, I think. And the only reason the Dodgers aren't is because they pay not to.
Well, that's what April's for. You got to work it out in April. Do the Yankees, despite, shitting down their leg, as you say, still have one of the highest run differentials in baseball? They score a lot and they don't give up a lot. As far
unlike
as
the Twins, unlike the Twins, who have scored a ton, but have also given up a ton. I mean, we gave up 10 to the Blue Jays on Friday.
Now, the thing that's absolutely baffling right now, Ben, is there are two teams atop the runs list, and that is the Astros, who are in last place in the division, and the Twins. Now, the Twins have a plus 15 run differential, with Houston even having 3 runs scored more than the Twins. They have a minus 12. Their pitching is the only one that's given up over 100 runs so far. And I can witness firsthand the Mariners average 6.25 runs against them in a 4-game series.
I mean, what was it, Saturday night that Houston went up 7-2 and just blew it?
Yeah.
Just completely imploded. And it wasn't just one inning either. It was like multiple where it was like, oh, the Mariners are going to win this game. Okay, I understand. After the Astros won, didn't the Astros win game 1 and then the Mariners just killed them after that?
No, it was a 4-game sweep.
Why did I think I heard them say on the broadcast that the Astros won the first game? Whatever. It might have been me mishearing it or somebody misspoke or whatever. But also, my guy Ryan Roland Smith was not in the booth on Saturday or Sunday.
I know.
That pissed me off. I didn't love that.
Dave Valle's okay, but he's not Ryan Roland Smith. They like to rotate people in there.
Ryan Roland Smith might be my favorite color commentator in baseball. And it might not be close. Other than the Mets guys, who I think are just otherworldly. But that Mets team isn't. Juan Soto's out for a month.
And I mean, I feel that as much as I hate the Yankees, Dave Sims, the former Seattle broadcaster, he's amazing. I mean, he's amazing for the Yankees.
What a get he was for them too. I'm sure the Mariners did everything they could to hang on to him.
It's funny because the year that he left, the Mariners go almost to the World Series, and he's like, "Come on!" He's like, "Come on, dude." I was there for like 15 years and worked my way up here, and now the Mariners are better than the Yankees. Oy vey.
I do think Dave Sims is eventually going to be a national TV broadcaster. Eventually.
He's great. He really is great, dude.
I don't know where he goes. I don't think he'd go to Fox, and I don't think they'd want him. But could he go to a NBC? I mean, they really like Jason Benetti, to be fair, and they're not going to get rid of him. So we'll see. I really like NBC's broadcast. I'm not going to be shy about that. For as much as I think the last 2 weeks of Sunday Night Baseball have just been dreck and hard to watch.
They do a good job of making it seem like it's not a drub game, though.
I mean, Jason Benetti's fantastic at his job, and I think I heard one of the funniest calls on Sunday night, which was Olsen hits this ball, and Benetti gets really worked up like it's about to leave the yard, and then he's like, "Oh, it's off the top of the wall."
Yeah,
okay, that was funny.
He gets me all the time, dude. He's like, "Yeah, Raleigh." Oh, sorry, just another out at the wall. I'm like, God damn it,
dude. There were multiple times. I just want to point out, Aaron Goldsmith had me fooled 3 times on Sunday. Granted, you played great on Sunday, but he had me fooled 3 separate times that I thought Julio just tanked one. And it was like he singled and then flew out to like deep center.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
That's one thing that he does. He gets, he's like, oh, I guess that was not a home run. My bad.
Can I talk about Julio Rodriguez for a second?
Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing.
This dude is... Look, I know I criticized the Pirates like a week ago for paying Cole Tucker, but you guys kind of did the same thing with Julio. And man, you look like geniuses right now.
Well, and I think the major difference was Julio, we paid him a year after his rookie year. He wins Rookie of the Year. He was phenomenal. And then he actually had a down year the year after that, a down year, where his WAR was only like 4.5 or something like that.
If that's a down year, it's worth the investment.
And it always feels like he isn't living up to his potential. But when it's all said and done, at the end of the year, this dude's he's on a trajectory more than Griffey.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, how is that possible? That seems to be struggling all the time.
Because I think we take for granted the fact that Ken Griffey Jr. was a unicorn in terms of his consistency. Julio is a great player, but he does not have the consistency maybe that Griffey did. The day-to-day consistency.
And Griffey was 3 years younger when he started.
That's also true. And again,
was 22, I think, and Griffey was 19, I think, when he came up. That's crazy.
But there will never be another player as consistently great as Ken Griffey Jr. was, especially those first few years with the Mariners. Like, just day-to-day awesome.
He was something else, dude.
Let's talk about the graveyard.
All right. Yeah, the graveyard has changed
dramatically.
We've got, here we go. We'll just flip back. Boom. You see the A's dropping out. You see the Washington Nationals dropping out. You see the
That's maybe the biggest
dropping
surprise.
out. And we got the Rockies, White Sox, Red Sox, Giants.
Don't worry, Nationals. I'll save a spot for you. I'm sure you'll be back here in a week.
Houston. And here's the thing. We easily could have put Toronto in here, but the reason I didn't is they have the head-to-head over Boston already, and they have not played as many games as the other teams. But those were the 6-game winners only, and Houston has lost 8 in a row. They got swept by the Rockies, and then they got swept by the Mariners.
Dude, not only did they get swept by the Rockies, they made the Rockies look like a good baseball team for like 3 days in a row.
Well, and here's how bad the Rockies are, Ben. They're still in the fucking graveyard.
Yeah.
But the Astros sweep.
But I want you to keep in mind, the Astros made them look good.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
And they're not. Like, that team is not good at all.
Well,
and the Astros
say that, dude. I think they out-hit the Mariners by 10 in one of the games that they lost.
I was talking about the Rockies, not the Astros.
Yeah, okay.
I think the Astros, I've seen this from the Astros before. They shit down their leg for 3 months last year and still almost made the playoffs. So, like, not talking about them. I'm talking about the Rockies, who look horrendous when they're not playing teams that can't pitch.
Right. I hate the Astros. I was so happy to sweep them and get them out of town. Now we fly down to San Diego for the 2nd annual Vetter Cup. Do you know what the Vetter Cup is?
The fucking what?
The Vetter Cup. So Pearl Jam has a lead singer named Eddie Vedder, who famously is from Seattle with Pearl Jam. But they found him in San Diego when their singer died, like in 1990. So Eddie Vedder comes from San Diego up to Seattle. And now it's kind of like a torn thing. So now whenever the Mariners play San Diego, no matter where it is, they have a thing called the Vetter Cup, which is like a trophy that Eddie Vedder designed based on a guitar. And the winner of the series each year gets to keep the Vetter Cup. I love stuff like that. It happens in college football a lot.
That's really goofy. I like it. It's a gimmick. I love it.
I do too.
It's so
I wish
gimmicky.
a lot of teams would have more teams would have this. And they don't have to be in the same division because clearly we're not, but you play everybody.
You know who I think should have this?
White Sox, Cubs.
No, White Sox, Rockies.
Okay.
The Tank Trophy. The Tank Cup.
Okay.
the Tank Cup.
I would
and it's just a giant fucking tank.
Love to see more of this in baseball, dude. I honestly would love to
the
see
Chicagoland Trophy if you wanted to do the fucking Cubs and the White Sox. Even though the Cubs would win that.
Dude. The Windy City Trophy.
Even though the Cubs would win that, you know, 9 years out of 10.
I mean, right now, for sure. But
I don't think the White Sox will ever be relevant again as long as this owner's in charge.
But the Cubs could be terrible.
Yeah, the Cubs could be terrible again. And at that point, it's just both teams trying to lose, and then it's not very fun to watch. The Padres don't look very good either, by the way. I know the Giants are down there, but Padres don't exactly look awesome.
And I will say this. The Mariners did win the first annual Vetter Cup last year. I think they were 6-1 against Padres.
You know what's funny about the Mariners playing the Padres?
What?
I actually thought at the beginning of the year that there was a decent chance that if the Dodgers weren't going to make the World Series, it would be Padres Mariners.
Well,
that doesn't look like that's going to happen.
They're interesting because they have a stacked roster.
They're the step on your own foot team. That's what they are.
And they have a good minor league system. So
they step on their own foot all the time, and AJ Preller's a fucking moron who trades guys that he shouldn't, frankly.
All right, let's look in your division. Twins, Guardians at the top. The only teams in the American League with 10 wins. Almost a 60% win percent, Ben. God dang.
Not going to last. For either team.
The Guardians actually have a negative plus-minus on the run differential.
It's because they played Atlanta this weekend and got hammered twice.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess it's early, so getting hammered a couple times will get you into the negative. But, I mean, halfway through April, you really don't want to have a negative run differential. And speaking of Atlanta, they're plus 40. Good Lord, dude.
Yeah, that Atlanta team, I told you before the season started that I thought they were a contender, and they appear to be proving me right just about every day. Like, they're really good.
What would I tell you? What is it? What would I tell you? They scored a lot of runs, but here's what I want to tell you, Ben. They actually have the number one rotation in baseball right now.
That's not surprising. I mean, look, the Braves are a whole other level of good at development, and they have been for a decade and a half. And I know they sucked for a few years, but like, let's not act like this team is ever irrelevant for that long. Because
it's really close because you've got the Yankees that have given up the same amount of runs, and then the Rangers are 2 runs behind them, and then the Mariners are 2 runs behind them. So the top 5 pitching rotations in baseball right now would be the Yankees, the Rangers, the Mariners, the Braves, and the Dodgers.
Do you think the Rangers are going to be good? I see a lot of people buying Rangers stock right now, and I'm like,
well, the only reason that you can buy Rangers stock right now is because of their pitching staff. Their pitching staff is great. It's great.
I've seen a lot of people start floating out DeGrom to the Mets in July, and I'm like, are we sure the Rangers aren't going to be like contending?
I think they're the most likely in our division to put up a fight.
Because I think the Astros, I think they're really dead this time. We had that like false alarm for 3 months last year that they were dead. Now I think they're actually dead.
Yeah, dude, when you're relying on, I think out of the 4 games that they played against us, Ben, only one of their starters made it out of the 3rd inning, and the other 2 of them were gone in the 1st inning. So they are in a world of hurt, and I hope that it lasts at least half the season because they won't be able to pull out of that. They will not. And
I don't think they're going
to just went on the injured, or not on the injured list, but he's missed a couple games with a hamstring issue.
Speaking of injured list, there's some like fairly prominent names either there or headed there. Pena, Soto, Lewis for the Twins.
Soto, that one hurts them for sure.
Look, I said it. I thought the Mets would be the most expensive team to miss the playoffs. I still think that. And if you watch them at all, they kind of look like it.
Well, they're in last place, even behind Washington.
Bo Bichette was getting booed 4 games into his Mets tenure.
Yeah, that's crazy. Imagine if Seattle did that to Josh Naylor, who hit 2 home runs yesterday.
who just continues to be incredible.
But I mean, he was struggling for those 2 home runs doubled his production for the rest of the season in that one game. That's how much of a struggle he was. But I mean, once you come out of it, I mean, look what Julio's doing now. And look at JP Crawford, dude. He was on base 13 times in a 4-game series against.
And he won you the game on Saturday.
Yeah, and he walked off Saturday. I'm not ready for him to go anywhere. Cole Emerson, where are you going to play, bro?
Do you want Cole?
They're training him at third base right now. He's playing third base right now in the minors.
I was going to say, Cole, do you want to play third?
Because I love Brendan Donovan, but he is not good at third base. He didn't play at all last year, and I think he leads the majors in errors, despite even missing like 3 games.
You guys just traded for Brendan Donovan, and don't get me wrong.
I love him.
His bat has been a bonus for you guys, but I don't know where he's going to play. That's the problem.
I mean, we can DH him, and he can play right field. He can play outfield.
I don't know that I want Brendan Donovan in right field.
Well, dude, I don't want him at third base, but here's the deal. He came out of St. Louis with experience at second, first, third, and right field. And when you look at Luke Raley out there, do you feel any better?
Luke Raley can barely move. That's the thing.
I mean, he's been out there. Dom Canzone's out there. Leo Rivas. Oh, not Leo Rivas. What's the other guy? He's injured right now.
I saw a rancid rumor a couple of days ago that I just don't put any stock into at all. Would you like to hear it? Yeah, that the Mariners considered moving Cole Young to right field, and I'm like, no, they didn't. No, they didn't. Never. Will not happen. No.
I wouldn't be surprised if it got brought up in a meeting by somebody, but the fact that they were not willing to move him in a deal to get Marte lets me know that they've been pretty solid that Cole Young is the second baseman of the future. And I really like where his development is right now.
Now, would Ketel Marte have been a short-term upgrade? Probably, but maybe not in that ballpark.
For sure an upgrade. I mean, the guy's he always has MVP votes every year. So I don't see Cole Young getting MVP votes. He might get a Gold Glove, but he's not quite the player that Marte is. Marte's also 30.
Again, that's why I said short-term upgrade.
Yeah, so it's like, did you really want to give up a whole lot to have a guy that's going to be there 1 or 2 seasons?
Do you know who Arizona should have called if they wanted prospects like that? San Diego. AJ Preller loves trading prospects.
Yeah.
He'll give you whatever you want. Oh, we want your top 4 prospects, AJ. Okay, here you go. Can I have my superstar now?
Let's talk about prospects for a second, dude. I don't know if you've been following, but Cade Anderson is absolutely slaying people in AAA or in lower ball. I think he's got 2 professional starts, like 17 strikeouts.
He's going to be in AAA before the end of the year, right? He's got to be.
He might come up at the deadline.
You mean in September?
September, yeah.
He's not going to be playoff eligible, but he'll.
I think. I honestly think the tandem of him and Ryan Sloan is a safety net when it comes to trying to maintain all these pitchers that have blown up on the major league level. I don't know how you're going to – Bryce Miller's on the injured list still, but he's great when he plays. So I don't know how you keep Bryce Miller, Brian Wu, George Kirby, and Logan Gilbert when none of them are under contract.
And potentially Joe Ryan, who you might be trading for.
I mean, yeah, or anybody that we would trade for. It's you shouldn't be talking about trading your star pitcher when you're number 1 in your division, Ben.
They're going to trade him, though. Like, let's be realistic. He's going to get traded because they're not going to pay him. whether we're good or not. I mean, we could be 10 games clear at the top of the division in July, and I still think they're going to trade him.
But here's the thing I don't understand about that mentality. And I'm not saying it's your mentality. If that's the mentality,
I'd have paid him. I'd have paid him a year ago.
When you have a guy that does that on a day-to-day basis, he's what's making you money. He's the reason the butts are in the seats.
If there's any at all. I mean,
so
target field's pretty rough.
If you get rid of him, you're just getting rid of income. So why not disperse some of that income to him? I don't understand.
You know the one way I think they'd pay him? If we somehow, and this is a hypothetical, if the Twins somehow are that 5, 6, 7, 8 games clear at the deadline, I think they're going to hang on to him. And then I think they'll give him like a 4-year extension at the end of the year.
How old is he? He's
like 28.
Yeah. I don't know, dude.
I mean, him and Taj Bradley at this rate are going to get down ballot Cy Young votes, both of them. Taj Bradley's been probably one of the best pitchers in baseball for a month now.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's nuts. As the ERA is like 1 something.
I think it might be under 1 now.
Insanity.
Granted, he still has the control problem, and he's walking too many guys, and he's getting pulled from the game in the 5th inning. But, I mean, when your ERA is like, 0, it kind of doesn't matter.
It kind of doesn't matter.
Damon.
Ben.
I love this Rockies White Sox competing to see who the worst team ever created is. Gimmick. Is that for the Astros getting swept?
Yeah, I did this for the Astros.
Who do you think the worst team in the league is? Is it the White Sox or the Rockies? Because it's those two and everybody else.
I'm sticking with the Red Sox for now.
No. They have too much talent. Roman Anthony's there. They're not going to be the worst team in the league.
I think that's what makes me stick with them. They suck. What good is talent if you suck as much as the fucking Rockies?
Yeah, but the Red Sox are in a weird spot because nobody expected them to start this bad, which is why everybody, including you, is overreacting right now and saying they're this bad. Right, because nobody expected them to be here.
If they pull out, then I'll remove them from the graveyard.
And I know people wanted Colorado to be like sneaky good this year. That was never going to happen.
Dude, honestly, I consider them being sneaky good. We knew it was still going to be in the graveyard, but for them to have swept a team before the end of April, I don't care who it is. That's them being sneaky good as far as I'm concerned.
And the White Sox just look hopeless. Okay. Let's talk about the Twins. So they're going to finish this 3-game series with the Red Sox, and then they're going to play Cincinnati this weekend, which, if you want to talk about the funniest matchup possible for this point in the season, let's just say we take 2 out of 3 from the Red Sox, because we're probably going to, with the way the Red Sox are playing right now. The Reds might sweep us. And then they go to New York and play the Mets, who will sweep us. So this 7 out of 8 is going to quickly potentially turn into a 6-game losing streak.
You guys listening to this? Is everybody hearing this?
It's not impossible. The Reds are really good, and the Mets, even depleted, are...
Ben is predicting that the number 1 team in the AL Central is going to get swept 2 of the next 3 series.
They're not the number 1. That's a paper thing in April.
Hey, the numbers, Ben. The numbers.
The numbers will matter in July.
Well, they matter now.
To you? I don't take any of this shit seriously until July. The only things that I take seriously right now are the fact that the Rockies suck, because I knew they did. The White Sox suck. And the Astros shooting down their leg is a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, their pitching implosion has been historic, and if it continues this way, it will be historic.
Carlos Correa's downfall should be studied.
Yeah,
what happened to this guy?
Once a cheater, always a cheater. He's got that black stain on him.
Yeah,
Altuve.
I mean,
he's still balling. He's still balling. I mean, but he gets booed every time he steps to the plate, no matter where he goes. Does he make the Hall of Fame?
I wouldn't.
With his cheating?
No. I wouldn't put him, or maybe, I don't think he's good enough, but if Springer had that kind of case that Altuve does, which he doesn't, maybe you consider Springer, but he doesn't have a case. Correa would have had a case had he done anything in Minnesota, and I still don't think I would have put him in. But Correa didn't do anything in Minnesota. And then they send him to Houston for nothing, and the Twins almost kind of look smart for that because Correa looks terrible. So, I mean, he looks like Twins JJ Hardy right now. I'm sure somebody got that reference. JJ Hardy on the Twins was... Well, that wasn't JJ Hardy, let's put it that way. JJ Hardy was abducted, and whoever the hell was out there in a Hardy jersey, that wasn't JJ. No clue who the hell that guy was. Still don't know.
It's funny.
But he came back. JJ Hardy left the Twins and turned into a pretty decent player again.
Yeah, so did what's his name? Plays for the Mets now.
Jorge Polanco?
Yeah. He was awesome last year. He was awesome last year.
In Jorge Polanco's defense, some of it was he didn't get along with Rocco Baldelli, which I don't blame him. Nobody did towards the end. Part of the reason Rocco got fired is because he couldn't get along with Royce Lewis. And Derek Shelton had to go to Royce's house in Texas to stop him from asking for a trade.
How asinine is this, man? You have the world champion Los Angeles Dodgers with the payroll that they have.
Yes.
Yes, they're leading all of baseball in runs scored. But the Minnesota Twins, who are bottom 10 payroll,
and one of the worst bullpens I've ever seen.
Only 3 runs behind.
And one of the worst bullpens I've ever seen.
So, make that make sense.
It's April. That's the only way.
Can everybody? But here's my thing: can everybody on the Dodgers just relax and not worry about having to mash every day because every one of them is a superstar masher, and then it will just work out eventually.
If you were on the Dodgers, or if I slumped in April, I probably wouldn't care because I'm like, we got freaking Ohtani and Betts. Who gives a shit?
Right. It's we're not going to lose. No, we're not going to lose.
We're going to win 100 games. Who cares, guys? Oh, we lost a game? Oh, well, we're going to do that 62 times this year, and then we might never do it again. By the way, with that payroll, if they get thrown out in the division round somehow, swept, thrown out, is Dave Roberts on the hot seat all of a sudden with that payroll?
I mean,
because with that payroll comes a certain amount of expectation that.
Right, but to me, the more likely scenario would be, okay, well, we spent a lot of money, but we didn't spend enough.
I mean, they're going to get Tarek.
The more likely scenario.
The Tarek Skubal Dodgers thing is real, and I think it's inevitable.
I can't imagine having a team where I'm like, my team just signed Ohtani, and then realizing that your team is not going to sign another big dollar player for the next 15 years. And then all of a sudden they sign Tarek Skubal or any of the other players.
Or Kyle Tucker, for fuck's sake.
We want that guy. I mean, it's absurd.
Does anybody,
it's absurd.
By the way, Tucker signed a 4-year deal in LA. Does anybody actually think he's only going to be there for 4 years?
Dude, if they win 4 titles, he might just retire.
Fuck it.
What else do you have? Like
they legitimately could win like the next 3 or 4.
I mean,
so I mean, who's catching them? Are you telling me?
I'm not even mad, dude. Like, I like watching baseball, and I like the possibility of someone overtaking them, but I really don't even.
I'm not counting on it.
I really don't.
I'm not counting on it. Okay, let's look at it as we see it now. Who are the teams this year that could beat them? Because I don't see one. As it currently stands, I mean, with the way some of these teams are playing, I mean, the Blue Jays are going to figure it out because they're hurt to hell.
But even when they figure it out, they're not going to have the pitching staff. I would look at the teams with the top 5 pitching staff right now. That's what I would look at. I would look at the Yankees. I would look at the Mariners.
God forbid that happens.
I would look at the Braves. I mean, that's about it, because you're going to have a staff that can handle that rotation of batters.
So that disqualifies the Mets because
unless they make some moves. I mean,
even if they get DeGrom, I don't think they're in it.
Well, keep in mind, they could get Skubal at the trade deadline. That doesn't necessarily mean he's going to sign there for the next year, but if they're anywhere in the hunt and their pitching is what they need, oh yeah, he could be a Met.
The Padres, I know they have 10 wins right now, but like, does anybody actually think they're going to beat the Dodgers?
I don't think it's impossible.
I do. I've watched way too much of that Padres team to think that they are anything other than a nice, fun little thing we're going to talk about for the next 2 months, and then they're going to do the Padres thing.
So you ever heard of the 3-game road trip?
Yeah.
That's what we're about to do right now. We're going down to San Diego for 3. Give me, what do you think is going to happen in these 3 games? You got Brian Wu.
Well, you'll win that game.
You got Brian Wu, and then you got Emerson Hancock and Castillo. Those are your 3 pitchers for this.
Isn't the Mariners like Tatis's boogeyman? Like, Tatis just doesn't play well against you guys?
We hammer them every time we play them, but it's a new year. They're looking good.
Another guy I would have banned for life, by the way, Fernando Tatis. He tested positive for PEDs. I'd ban him for life.
You're a one and done? No,
I am one and done. I'm one and done, period, with this stuff. I'd have banned half that Astros team too, by the way.
Well, I don't think Altuve should be able to play anymore. Did you ever see the absurdity of that walk-off home run that he hit and the team was yanking on his jersey and he was holding it on? Do you know why he was holding it on?
Because he had a buzzer under there. And it was pretty obvious.
On his chest, dude.
It was very obvious, yeah.
Right on the upper left pec, he had a fucking buzzer that was giving him the pitch signal.
Can we talk about the NL East for a second?
Yeah.
It's the Braves. And then it's just a mess underneath them of like either really bad or really mediocre teams. The Mets are in last place.
Yeah. We talked about that.
And I know it's April, but they've lost 5 in a row, and this Mets team does not look good. And I know Juan Soto's out, but I don't care. I just don't buy anything into the Mets. I think the Braves are setting themselves up to run away with this division. And if they keep playing like they have been, they're going to. But the thing is with a lot of these teams that we're seeing kind of mill around right now, a lot of these teams, it's not sustainable. For Atlanta, it is. That's the difference. For Atlanta, I think this is sustainable. That's the difference between them and the Twins. Is the Twins, this is never going to be sustainable
because the Braves have a natural balance of hitting and great pitching.
Yes.
They're one of the most balanced teams outside of the Dodgers, I would say. Or the Mariners, if they get there, if they freaking get there, if the Mariners hit like they hit last year and they continue to pitch like they pitched this year, good night, Nurse. Seriously. The pitching
How good would a
staff for Seattle
Braves
is pretty
Mariners World Series be for baseball, by the way? That'd just be awesome.
great. Yeah, I'm in.
I mean, we're going to have a lockout most of next year. So, like, let's get a good one in before we, all
It's
fuck
funny.
off.
Like, the only thing that would be crazier is for travel would be like Miami and Seattle. They would have to, each game have to go back between.
Come on.
Like a 7-hour flight.
I was going to say Miami has never done a damn thing, but like they've won 2 World Series and then proceeded to blow it up immediately. So like, I guess they could. But I don't know. Philly, look, I watched a lot of that Diamondbacks Phillies series. I don't know what to make of either team. The Phillies look miserable. Like the vibe just isn't right there. Does that make sense? Like you look at these guys' body language, they just don't look like they like each other very much.
You know what it is, Ben? I don't think it's that. I think it's the fact that they're all older guys and they came from other places. So they didn't grow up together. So you watch a team like Seattle, and I'll use them because all these guys come up together. And then when they get somebody new like Naylor, they instantly like indoctrinate him into like being a part of a thing because there's more of them. But if you've got 10 guys that all, and this is why I was like, maybe the Dodgers should never lose a game, in my opinion. But they do because they don't have that, hey, we all came up together. We're all part of this. They're like, well, we're just a part. Somebody bought this new car and now they're parting it out with newer, shinier parts. And we're over it, kind of like we're not part of the original car, so it doesn't matter as much to us.
By the way,
that's how I feel about it.
The Dodgers' level of spending is not sustainable. Never.
No,
I don't care how rich you are. They're not going to be able to spend this much money forever. And by the way, if not for shooting themselves in the foot a couple of times and injuries last year, we could be talking about the Braves as like winning 2 out of the last 3.
Yeah, they vastly underperformed last season. They had all kinds of injuries. Harris was down.
Acuna
for almost all the year.
And Acuna missed almost the entire year before that too.
Yeah, they're going to be all right this year.
They're going to be really good. In terms of the National League, I think it's far more predictable than the American League just because who's going to get past that Dodger team? Because the Diamondbacks are not. Right. They don't have the pitching. The Padres are not because they don't have the brain chemicals.
Right.
The Brewers give me a break. The Cubs look like they're lost at sea. The Reds are a really good team who I buy stock in for 2 years from now. But not right now. The Pirates they're managed by Don Kelly, so like that tells you all you need to know. And and then you go to the NL East and it's the Braves and then maybe the Phillies if the Phillies get their shit together, which I don't think they will. So like, yeah, they're probably going to make the playoffs, but like they're going to get beat. So, and then in the AL, who could beat them in the AL? Your team? Maybe.
I don't. It's too early for me to say. I need to see some sustained hitting and pitching at the same time.
The Yankees, no. I mean, let's not act like Giancarlo Stanton is good at this point.
No, but the Yankees are always a threat. They could come out of the doldrums and win for 2 weeks straight at any time.
Orioles, I think the Orioles probably, in terms of these lower payroll teams, have the best pitching staff, but like they're really hit and miss. They're inconsistent. The Rangers, no. The Astros are dead. The Angels are. Well, Mike Trout might finish top 5 in MVP, but they're still not going to do anything.
No, they're scoring a lot of runs, but their pitching sucks too.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is Trout is still probably one of the 5 or 6 best players in baseball, but it doesn't matter. What the hell's going on in Kansas City and Detroit?
Well,
this is gut check time for them. One of them's going to drop off.
Has 2 really awesome players, and that's Bobby
3.
Well, Salvi's getting up there.
I was going to say Cole Ragans.
Okay. Is he great though?
Yes.
All right.
If he's healthy and right, he's really fucking good.
All right.
They've
got some gaps though, is my thing. In their lineup, they've got some really great hitters, and I still think Salvi's in that group. But there's a lot of holes in their lineup.
I don't think Salvi should be catching at this point. And I know defensively they just pretty much can't afford to take him out of there, but save this guy's legs a little bit.
Yeah, I really like him. He's one of my favorite players ever.
Who's your least favorite player? Is it Altuve?
Yeah. And George Springer.
I hate the team he plays for, but Ohtani's just so fun. Ohtani's so fun to watch.
Bregman, I hate.
Oh yeah, me too. Now, of the guys who have taken the paycheck from the Dodgers, I probably blame Ohtani the least. Because duh. He wasn't going to go to Miami. I thought he should have gone to Seattle, but
I'll tell you exactly why he didn't go to Seattle. There's already a Japanese legend there. You'd be playing as stupid as it sounds, you'd be playing in the shadow of Ichiro. Nobody wants that. He wants to be, I'm the Japanese player here. Okay. I think that's why a lot of these guys aren't going to go to Seattle coming over.
Because they don't want to be the guy after Ichiro.
Yeah. They as much as they're that would be great to play where Ichiro played. He's still there. He would be a mentor to me. But they're I can't go over there and know that just to level out and be considered the great Japanese player I have to hit 4,000 hits. Who would do that? Nobody wants to do that.
By the way, the Dodgers have a lot of talent right now, but they almost all of their guys are 30 and up.
I know.
In terms of their top end guys. Tucker's 30, I think, or 31. Shohei, I don't know how old he is. I think he's 30 now.
Yeah, Mookie Betts.
Mookie's been in the league forever. Is he 30 yet? I thought he was 30 for 2 years, so I don't know. Yeah, he's 33.
Yeah.
So let's not act like he's going to be around forever.
Yeah, no, Tony's 31.
By the way, if I'm Mookie Betts, I'm freaking livid because nobody talks about him anymore.
Dude, he's irrelevant. He's irrelevant.
And he's still one of the 15 best guys in baseball.
Oh, yeah. It's funny because,
he's one of the 15 best guys on the field ever, potentially, and he's just irrelevant.
And Freddie Freeman's 36.
No, he's older than that. Freddie's 38.
Okay. Well, I know he's old. That's all I know. He's old.
Yeah. Actually, you were right. Freddie's 36. But he's talking about retiring at the end of the year.
What else does he have to play for, dude?
If I was him, I'd go back to Atlanta for a year. Just go win another. Just go win one in Atlanta, dude. I mean, telling me that Atlanta team would just be like that little fraction better with Freeman in the lineup. It definitely would.
Max Muncy is another one that's like 36. Blake Trinan is 38.
Trennan's been old forever, dude. That's one I don't put much weight into just because that guy's felt old for 5 years.
They're aging out. I mean,
and that's the problem with what now. Granted, they have like a top 7 farm system, so it's not like they lack depth.
No, but do you see any of those guys making their way when they're just going to pay for whatever position they need?
I think they're going to be forced into that position eventually, especially if there's a salary cap.
Perhaps.
Which, by the way, the Dodgers are one of the teams advocating for a salary cap, which when you look at their fucking payroll is ridiculous. How are they one of the teams that want a salary cap? You're paying your guys like $400 million. Shut the fuck up. If there was a salary cap, in baseball right now, the Dodgers would be like $100 million over.
The thing that's shitty about it is they're already one of the wealthiest owners in baseball, but they also get the market share from Time Warner, which is why they're able to spend how they spend. Because no billionaire close to their money is going to fork out what these guys have forked out for these players. It takes another entity on top of it. And unfortunately, until Major League Baseball decides to split the revenue evenly amongst all teams like they do in the NFL, Time Warner is going to allow the Dodgers.
And by the way, their only way they're going to do that revenue split like that is if there's a salary cap. That's the only way they're going to do that.
Yeah. I mean, I've enjoyed not having a salary cap, but it has never benefited me. It's never benefited the Mariners.
It's never benefited like 26 of the 30 teams.
So
I mean, really?
I can't say that I'm actually caring about it anymore.
The no cap thing has benefited 4 teams. Do you want to know who they are? The Yankees, the Mets, the Dodgers, and for like a year, Atlanta. And really, it was Atlanta for a year because then they kind of fell apart again.
Yeah.
But if there's a salary cap, what do you think that number should be? Because I think it should be 200 million.
I would say 225.
200, 225. And the floor should be like 150.
No, it should be 205.
You think there should be a $20 million? That's too small. I don't think they're going to do that.
I think, yeah, dude. Look at the NFL.
That'd be better for the game. I agree with you. That's what I would do.
People are like, we need more salary cap. We need more. Everyone's up against it.
Because quarterbacks it's because quarterbacks that aren't very good, like Kirk Cousins, make $60 million a year.
Yeah, well, Ohtani makes twice that. Not twice that.
But okay, stick with my Kirk Cousins example here. Who's the better athlete, Damon?
Yeah, it's Ohtani. Clearly.
Yeah, you think? All right. Gee, what was your first clue, buddy?
Let's talk about WrestleMania, Ben. You've got
rather not
2 Marks and a Spark coming up on the end of season 4 on Sunday night, the end of season 4.
Yeah, season 4 going out with
us with Lock 22, and season 5 begins. How do you feel about that? That's crazy, dude.
I really wish we had a better WrestleMania to do that with. And I mean that sincerely. I wish this Mania didn't look like it was going to be a turd. This Mania looks like it's going to be awful. Night 1 looks unwatchable. I mean, and here's the thing. We're not doing the 2-night split review anymore, which that's fine. I don't care. That was kind of a consequence of, to be honest, it wasn't my idea. I'm not going to say whose idea it was. It wasn't mine. But when the person that said it, I was like, if we're ever not going to do 2-night review, if we're ever just going to do one long show after night 2, this is the year to do it.
Yeah.
Like, this is the year to do one show instead of 2. Like, and honestly, I think WrestleMania could have been one night this year, and they'd have been fine, because that's how bad the show looks.
Yeah, when did they start doing 2 nights?
They
3 or 4 years ago?
They started this during the pandemic.
Okay.
And now they've expanded it to SummerSlam, and they're going to expand it to the Rumble.
I don't like it, Ben, because what if you went... what if you're like, your whole dream is to go to WrestleMania, and then you go to Las Vegas, and you're like, man, I can't afford $1,300 2 nights in a row.
I mean, they $1,300 is like nosebleeds for WrestleMania right now. I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, whatever it is, like you're forcing people to choose a night, and you don't know what's going to happen, and you might be there for the good stuff, and you might not. I hate everything about it.
They're selling combo packages that do give you like a pretty significant.
Yeah, but what if you can only go for one night?
They don't care.
Yeah, that's my point. It's not it's not for the fans, dude. It's not for the fans. It's for them to make money.
No, and here was the thing, like, and I don't want to give Vince McMahon any credit at all, because he's a deplorable human being. But like pre-TKO, the ticket prices were not like this, and the combo deal to go for night 1 and night 2 was significantly more within reach. Now, this may be the last WrestleMania on US soil for 2 or 3 years. So, like, keep that in mind. Like, this thing could be in Saudi Arabia for the next 3 years. So, it's going to be next year. So,
that's absolutely lame, dude.
And it was supposed to be in New Orleans this year, and they stiffed New Orleans to go back to Vegas, which my reaction to that was, wait, the Vegas crowd sucked, so you're going to go back there and let them suck again.
Yeah, I don't care for it. All right. Do you want to talk about the other thing that's on the horizon, or do you want to wait?
Which other thing?
The Shrewsbury thing.
Oh, the Shrewsbury thing. Yeah, we're bringing that back. Yeah, Shrewsbury's coming back. It's going to have a whole new format. I don't want to get too much into it here, but you'll see. Let me put it that way. We're working as some of you are really going to like it. Let me put it like this. Some of you are going to really, really like this. Some of you are going to really, really hate it. And there's going to be... I legitimately think it is going to be the most like divided show we have in terms of people who like and don't like it. Because like most people, I think, are good with 2 marks, right? Like they're happy with that. Most people that watch this show, it seems like this show gets pretty positive reception most of the time. That show, probably not going to. And I think we're okay with that at this point.
We are 100% okay with it.
But let me just say this. The first potential guest for that show, gonna raise some eyebrows. Let me put it that way.
Faux show.
Let's just say there's going to be a very long episode. What is it, that second week in November?
Yeah.
First week in November?
Oh, now you're giving it away.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, I'm doing the wrestling thing where I'm telling you without actually saying it.
Right.
It's like I'm telling you, but I'm not saying anything. Yeah, it's gonna be like what is that? Probably a 3-hour show that Tuesday.
Wonderful. All right, folks.
Are you gonna be on that show, by the way?
I don't know. Yeah, why not?
I mean, you're gonna be there anyway. You might as well.
I didn't really talk about the Mariners this week, but we'll save it for next week.
I think the Mariners are really good. That's all I need to say.
We're going to be Tuesday again next week because of WrestleMania, and that's just the way it is.
And hopefully we'll be back to like the normal format within 2 weeks, because the only reason we're on early today is because of me going to a Wild game to watch the backups play, probably. They're not going to play anybody.
Oh, some people might not understand. A wild game of what, Ben?
That's hockey, Damon.
Right. I know, but people might not know. A wild game of what?
Well, the Minnesota Wild, but
the Minnesota
again,
Wild is the name of your hockey team.
Which I think is. We should have just been the North Stars again, but that's a whole nother. A whole nother thing.
And who are they playing?
Anaheim. It's the last game of the season though, and we're kind of locked into our spot. Like we can't go up, we can't go down. So the expectation is the Stars are going to sit and the kids are going to play.
Hey, that'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Maybe. Or maybe we'll just not.
All right. Well, that's all we got for you this week, guys. Keep tuning in.
Go Mariners. I refuse to say go Twins at this point.
You're sitting in the Twins ballpark, so you don't need to say anything.
That's fair. You make a point.
All right, everybody. I think that's the show.
The show.
The show. I'm going to put this up. And again, I don't give a shit if anyone watches this. This is baseball therapy. So if you ever want to chime in, you can. You don't have to. Hell, you don't even have to watch it. We're still going to do the graveyard and we're still going to talk our shit. So that's just how I feel about this particular show. It's therapy. And Ben and I talking about different things that we observed over the course of the week. All right, Ben. I will see you later this week for WrestleMania and this new thing we got.
I don't know if that's going to be this week yet, but yeah.
Well, we'll talk about it. All right.
This week or next.
Bye, everybody.